what are like 2 accessories that he got to make sure that he has in his closet to go with his suits?
To go with his suits, I'm going to say, one, a nice pair of shoes.
Okay.
That's the foundation.
Okay,
Please.
Please.
Please. Because, man, you got some beat-up shoes, that's going to be a different conversation.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Check-In. We're in Season 5, y'all. Season 5. God bless us to have 5 seasons of checking in with us, because we know if we don't check in on ourselves, ain't nobody gonna check in on us. So we're gonna use our platform to do that. So again, you're here for another episode of The Check-In. I am your host, NeAndre Broussard, founder and CEO of Black Menswear, and I'm here with one of the most stylish guys I know. But it's probably because he owns his own suiting company. Shout out my guy Kenneth Boggs. KB, what's up, brother?
Hey, brother. Good seeing you, brother.
Welcome to The Check-In, my guy.
Man, thanks for having me.
Now, I'm going to start this conversation the same way I started with everybody else, right?
Okay.
What is one quote that you heard, whether a long time ago, a short time ago, but one of those quotes that just hit you like, dang, that was really, really good?
Jeez, that's a great question. I gotta say, comes from my grandfather. When I was 12 years old, grandfather pulled me to the side. He said, KB, you're born looking like your dad, but you die by looking like your decisions. So that's something that stuck to me since day one. Yeah.
Wow. You're born looking like your dad, but you're going to die looking like your decisions?
100%. Yeah.
I'm 12, granddad. Like.
yeah. No, because it was one of those things because I never met my father before. And this would be actually the year I'm actually going to meet him for the first time.
Wow.
So it's something that always stuck with me, though.
Man,
yeah.
How do you feel? Can I ask you that? How do you
totally
feel about
fine,
that?
Brother. You know what, man? Shout out to my wife. I got to give her credit for this, but because I never thought about it, because growing up, by default, society made me hate him because he wasn't around. Until I became a man, I had to ask myself, what was his childhood like? And then it hit me in 2 seconds. And so, forgiveness is what it's all about and whatnot. And man, it's going to happen literally next month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah. Thanks for asking, though.
I commend you for the maturity in that.
I appreciate that.
Because, like I said, I made this far without it. Why I need to even,
Exactly.
But being able to take another look at it and say, well, what was it like for him?
Right.
To where maybe this decision was not as easy as I feel as it was, just because of the background that he went through, to where it was like, all right, well, it is what it is, just based off of cycles. And so, I definitely commend you for that. For that maturity, man. So the KB that I see now that has, become the man in the suit world, brother. I mean, you a little bit more immaculate than I am. You know what I mean? Yeah. You bold, you tailored, sophisticated. Why was it important for you to launch KB Suiting, not KB, Kenneth Boggs?
For sure.
Why was it important for you to put out something that empowers people from their visual perspective?
Great question. Now I got to shift it over to my grandmother now. My grandmother, she's the one that taught me how to sew when I was 12. And, back in the days, it wasn't really a thing to wear tailored suits or anything. Because, we had the baggy clothes on.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
So I can't tell my boys here in L.A. that, hey, I dress, I know how to do this stuff because you're not look this, strong and whatnot. But, it's a dying art. My grandfather was like, hey, man, I want them, if education don't work, they should know how to work with their hands. So I have to salute my hat off to them. And so for me, I grew up listening to Motown music. I don't know if you're too young for that.
What?
Yeah. I mean, these brothers, grew up watching David Ruffin. I always want to be David Ruffin from the Temptations, 5 Heartbeats, Teddy Pendergrass. And, we had Michael Jackson, but I was like, man, I kind of look like this brother. I want to be like this. You know what I mean? Right. And so these, those brothers are so talented. And I used to make my grandfather's, I was making his suits while the music is playing in the background. So as they're storytelling, I'm creating the suit, to create my grandfather's story while he's preaching, because he was a preacher or whatnot. And so it went hand in hand. And, most suits, man, like I'm really, really into it, like the science behind it, because it's full canvas I have, which is wool and horsehair between the lining and the fabric. So that's why you see me on these horses a lot, because we used to go to the farm a lot. So it drapes on your body really well. For sure. And make a long story short, usually my clients, when they are in our suits, they never get, hey, you look sexy or cute. They always get, hey, you look handsome. And Kenneth literally means handsome. Okay. So every single one of my clients make sure they're Kenneth.
Oh, wow. Wow. No, that's good stuff, man. And I want to ask you, like, going back to your very first sale, right? How did it make you feel from a business perspective as an entrepreneur, young entrepreneur out there?
Right.
What went into that first sale, one, and then how did you feel coming out of it, two, that led you to keep going?
Yes, when I saw how much I made within that time,
yeah,
I was like, wait a minute, right? Because I was doing the sewing, and I was like, you know what? I need to be on the business side, see what this is like. Mm-hmm. So I had to understand, like, I didn't want to learn how to fish. I wanted to understand how to own the pond. So it took my mindset from, certain consciousness to ownership, which is what it's all about. And for me, I just love the fact that I just love, making people happy, because they'll come up to me like, hey, like, they entrust that, hey, can you make me good for my wedding day or something, something like that. And man, I felt like I was a therapist.
Yeah.
So it was a great feeling.
That is one of those things, like you turn men from feeling okay about themselves to that final fitting. They feel really good about themselves.
Absolutely.
You see their shoulders kind of go back a little bit, that chest pops out a little bit more.
Right.
What about that part of the process do you enjoy?
Most men, they don't get compliments. Right?
Yeah.
And, when they do end up putting on, Kenneth Boggs garment, I've seen a change, right? Even with relationships, guys are like, man, my wife haven't looked at me in a while. And I kid you not, God struck me there. If I'm like, and it's like, man, my wife, man, she said I look like this.
Yeah.
And so, because like, and one thing about us men, we don't like change. We'll stick with the same barber, right?
Years.
And it's the same thing with suits. So kind of run concurrent. And so they keep coming back. And, it's just great, man. I really love what I do, bro.
Man, it's funny. First time we actually linked up was in Salt Lake. For All-Star Weekend, NBA All-Star Weekend.
Right.
And everybody, because, I went to All-Star events, but then I was at local events because I like to get in the city. And, man, because, I'm drippy sometimes. Everybody's like, is that a Kenneth Boggs? Everywhere I went. I was like, it's not. But who is this brother that y'all keep talking about?
Right.
Everybody, in the elevator, at the restaurant, at the hotel, everybody. But they know you so well out there. They know if anybody's immaculate, it had to come from a Kenneth Boggs suit. And, bro, like, your name preceded you until we actually met. I already knew who you were. Like, we had already connected. And then we ended up, getting together for brunch out there and had me sitting next to Spike Lee at breakfast.
That's right.
Okay, he the man for real.
That's right.
No, but like just having that, man, kudos to creating a business that carries a reputation that you don't even got to be there for.
Thank you,
Like,
bro.
that is something that in business, when you do the right thing, you do good work.
I appreciate that.
People become your evangelists. Speaking of evangelists, right? Speaking of the church, like, suits for us as black people really carry a very big cultural representation for us. I think as a culture, we've kind of gotten away from it from a sense of rebellion, to where I ain't got to wear it. This is correct. But suits, when you think about, the 70s and before.
Correct.
Suits were the daily wear.
Absolutely.
How do you feel representing our culture the way that you do by bringing that visual back?
Yes, because a lot of my inspiration is from the early 1900s to the 70s, and obviously in modern day time, because I took the tailoring to a whole other level. Whereas, I love wearing like the tweed and the window pane and all that. Because find something that fits your bone structure and drapes on you. Because how you want to be addressed is how you dress.
For sure.
Go back to the basics.
For sure.
Because when you have an outfit on, it's supposed to be out and fit. Supposed to fit you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if you're a big guy, supposed to fit you.
Yeah. True.
And I always look at that from those lenses. Whereas our people, when we look at the great luminaries that came before us, like Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Fred Hampton, these brothers were sharp, and so I got a lot of my inspiration from these brothers to, what they end up given to us in this world, I just felt like, we can still move forward with that kind of mindset and that kind of consciousness.
Man, when you meet with a new client, and again, I'm tapping into the mind of entrepreneurship here,
For sure.
When you meet with a new client, how important is it for you to understand that client? Because everybody can't dress like you.
100%.
And you can't try to make everybody dress like you. How important is it to understand your clients, your consumers, that helps with the longevity of business?
Yes, so I'm very attentive, so I'm asking them questions like, hey, like, what is your lifestyle, or where do you work, or what is this for, right? And goes back to the original thing I alluded to about creating their own story, and therefore nobody looks like them, right? Because my goal is to make sure they look like an outlier by the end of the day. So what you looking like in Salt Lake, the reason why people are saying, man, aren't you? Because that's the reputation that we have. Make sure you have something totally different.
For sure.
And whatnot.
For sure.
So, but that goes into it, man. Like, I don't like to have my fingerprints on it, but I want to have a grip on it to really execute, to their vision.
Yeah, I like that, man. That's when your presence speaks before you even open your mouth. Like how you show up. A lot of time, especially for black men, that'll even get you an opportunity to have a conversation with somebody who can invest in your business. That can even get you an opportunity to have a conversation with the bank to get a loan. A lot of these things, a lot of people overlook that, but I know you don't. I know you understand that.
Yes, 100%. Because a man's presentation is extension of himself by the end of the day. Yeah. Because the way I dress or whatever the case may be, I have people that I felt like they would never talk to me in a million years. Come up and like, hey man, so what do you do? I not trying to brag, but still to this day, I have yet to, pay for a first class. Yeah.
Your clients bring you out.
Yeah. Or sometimes the Delta, they're like, hey, like, we want to.
Oh, they put you up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You good? We got extra seat.
97% of the time, I travel in suit. 97. Sometimes.
Got you.
97% of the time. And that was one of the things early on especially when I was in corporate.
Yes.
Man, just the way that I was respected, especially as a young man at that time, right?
Right.
Going into business in rooms where I was the only one that looked like me. But I had that suit on. They want to know what I'm talking about. Are you here? Oh, you the guy that's training us today? What you got?
Right.
Because they see like, oh, he's put together.
100%.
Yeah.
Even though you're saying the same thing,
somebody else said,
like in a pair of sweatpants, you're saying the same thing
for sure.
But they're more attentive when you have that presentation.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and it's extremely important. And you talked about the details, right? We call them accoutrements.
Yeah.
For you, man, break down a suit for me.
Okay.
Your favorite style of suit. Your lapels.
Ooh.
Your buttons, single, double, your pants. Walk me through your ideal suit for Kenneth,
Gotcha.
Not for your client, but if you gonna go, you're gonna make a suit. Break down a suit for me.
First off, I'm gonna go with a full canvas, 2-button.
Okay. Now full canvas. So for somebody that don't know what full canvas means,
Gotcha.
Why does that drape better than a fused jacket?
Okay. Yes. So suits are made in 4 different ways. You have full canvas, half canvas, fused, and unstructured, right? Fused, that's just an easy suit to make. It's just glued on. If you ever try to take off the buttons, it's stuck. That means the suit is glued, right? And full canvas, which is wool and horsehair between the lining and the fabric. So it'll drape on you really, really well, especially with someone with a certain bone structure. A lot of brothers we built with wide shoulders and our waist is small, right? And then moving forward, I love to do, a cuff, at the end, I like to do a double vent.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I like to do mainly. I love to do obviously the 2-button suit, but peak lapel. Because once you button it, man, look like a V12. You come in there with some power.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
So I want to make sure I don't like to go towards a notch because notch looks like that's a typical look for off the rack. So I like to go for the peak lapel.
Yeah. It's a statement.
Especially with the shoulders, I like to have like a natural shoulder roll instead of having padding. So I take the padding out with all my clients and give that nice T-shirt look on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you a wide lapel fella or a regular 4-inch?
I'm gonna say 4-inch.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 4-inch because my tie got to match the width of it.
Yeah, fair. Because it's difficult when you got 5-inch lapels. For a 5-inch tie.
Because some people think, you got a skinny tie on? No, I don't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. been a lot of places. You have a lot of clients all over.
Mm-hmm.
What is the most fashionable city in this country? I'm just trying to get people riled up.
When it comes to suits.
Yeah, when it comes to suits.
I got to give it to my boys in the South.
Yeah.
I got to give it to my boys in the South. I got to give my boys in Texas.
Come on, man. I wasn't even paying for that
No.
but I'll take it.
I got to give it to my brothers in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You brothers don't mess around down there.
Man, no, we do a few things, but I think one of the reasons behind that is because we still have a lot of that down south church perspective.
Yes.
That we all grew up wearing suits, and then it's like when you get back to it, and now you look at it from a space of, well, before I wore this suit because I had to, because it's my big brother's suit, and now it's the only suit that now I'm gonna wear the hand-me-down versus now it's like, now let me go pick this out. And let me now it's like I'm revenging on my parents because like you had me wear this before. Wait till you see what I can actually put on now that I'm getting it myself. Yeah. But I think also too like the aspect of business, and the the cowboy suits too. Like we do a lot of that down there as well.
Right. Yeah, because you guys still have that core of, the black culture that's so deeply like rooted, like anchored, whereas like we don't have HBCUs out here. You know what I'm saying? You guys have that. You guys have more understanding of that. You know, we know about the PWIs, but you guys will get together and stuff. So that was a culture shock for me when I went to the South for the first time. When I was like 13, 14, I was like, man, what y'all doing these little dance steps? I'm like, I know the sea walk. What's this?
Yeah, right.
but brothers yelling something out loud. I was like, what's that?
Yeah.
But I see how it blossomed into something great, amongst our community.
I'm gonna ask you this, like in regards to the foundation of business.
Mm-hmm.
So you knew how to sew.
Yes.
You knew there was a market.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of those foundational things that help you actually start a business versus just being a guy that made suits?
Yes. I had to realize that I had to be a certain CEO, right? Because when somebody starts, they become the chief everything officer, very beginning, right? Where you got to transition to the chief executive officer.
Yeah.
When I had to understand how to hire the right people, like my team, I promise you I can't do nothing without them. Yeah. At all, right? Because even though we pay them pretty well, we end up making more in our business because they,
because they're right people.
Yeah.
And
just understanding the foundation of like, getting an accountant, like there's so much, because it breaks my heart seeing certain black businesses that don't last more than 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I was taught by great mentors, business mentors, to teach me the game. Like, hey, no, this is what you do for your business. This is how you end up growing. This is how you end up scaling. And so when I understood the basics of it, bro, it's because I almost failed one time. You know what I mean? Because, got a big check and then things went down so fast and things went from bad to a complete nightmare. But, man, when I ended up having the right people in my circumference, it changed everything, if that makes sense.
What is it that when we look at legacy of business, right, and we look down the line a few more years, what is it that you want people to say was a legacy of Kenneth Boggs?
I'm going to say that it wasn't just about business. It was also about philanthropy work for his community and the people in his country.
What kind of philanthropy work are you working on?
So one thing that we do, I just use Utah, right? Because where we met, there's a lot of young brothers that are adopted. It will throw you off. You're like, wait, you from here? Who's your parents?
Right.
Like, oh, because I never seen that. Because, in order to be a man, you have to meet a man, and for us, our biggest kryptonite is having lack of knowledge of self. And I want us to see each other because, if you think about the archetypes of black masculinity, you've got football player, basketball player, rapper, or entertainer. Like, no, you have a higher chance of being like a Dre, being a businessman, being a family man, or like a KB, or brothers that came here, So that is like my root core of wanting my community to know what I'm actually standing for. Not just the legacy of the business, but because, families run the world, right? Yeah. McDonald's, Ford Motors, Rolls-Royce, whatever the case may be. So they will always remember my name with the brand, but always remember my purpose.
That's good, man. That's good, man. We're coming to a close here. Got a couple more questions for you. Now, as a man that wears suits, we wear suits often. You got to accessorize, right? And shout out to my guys over at Compass Timepieces. They help me accessorize a little bit.
Beautiful.
For you, man, is it for a man building his wardrobe? What are like 2 accessories that he got to make sure that he has in his closet to go with his suits?
To go with his suits, I'm going to say, one, a nice pair of shoes.
Okay.
That's the foundation.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah. Please.
Please. Because, man, you got some beat up shoes. That's going to be a different conversation. But as far as like the accessories, man, I always say like a nice timepiece. Get you something that's timely and timeless, right? Don't get something that's like, oh, it's just popping right now, or it's a fad. No, get you something that's very, very, really, really nice and classy. And also, I'm going to say a nice collared shirt. Not nothing droopy, whereas you can throw an alley-oop through it. Like, get you a collar shirt that's on point to go with your suit. But I take those 2 things very serious, though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. It's funny, like, I was talking to one of my designer homies a while back, and he was like, don't wear my suit with no off-the-rack shirt.
No, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Like, he gonna bring the whole suit down.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Don't tag me in that either. Right.
At all. How do you combat trendy spaces? Because fashion oftentimes tends to be trendy at times.
For sure.
But you have a balance between trend, classic. Is it something where you like, all right, well, I'm gonna do whatever for my client, or do you try to walk them away from the trend and try to get them more lasting pieces?
I'm always for lasting pieces, and go back to the timepiece that I mentioned for a beautiful watch that you have on, by the way. Get you something that's timely and timeless, because all this stuff's going to die out eventually, right? Yeah. But every time, like, there's nothing like when you see somebody with a tailored black suit. You can have all the colors in the world. The person with the black suit on shuts it down every time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I always execute on, having something that stands out in the right way, not because it's, the fun way. Yeah.
No, that's actually really good, man. One more thing I want to ask you, right? So, like, community. Our platform is all about providing brothers with community.
For sure.
And for young brothers in either space of entrepreneurship or a space of fashion, what kind of advice can you give on just being able to find the right community to help them thrive and grow in?
Yeah, first off, as a community, that's a beautiful, beautiful thing as far as looking at like how we can blossom in the right way, because I always say all progress is group work, right? Like brothers like you and I, and brother over here that we were talking to, understand that we can work with each other, right? We don't have to be enemies, right? And I love the fact that nowadays with like your platform is bringing so much unity with it, right? So when I mean community, common unity, what facts. I mean. Okay? Yeah, so we can have that run concurrent with ourselves. We can really do something as far as like, hey, my brother is a lawyer, or I met one of your guys in Utah, right? He's a lawyer, and he was it went hand in hand. Hey, I can't do this right now, but I can get him later.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
So we can always move forward with like bringing our minds together, because we're all special in every way. So come together and find your business mentor, and find your business mentor from both sexes too. Seriously, find you not just a Renaissance man, but a Renaissance woman. They have some knowledge. Trust me when I tell you this.
Yeah, for sure.
And open up so many doors, because the philanthropy work that will go with it. Because if you're really about the philanthropy life, break down just a little bit of etymology. Phil means love, anthro means human or humanity. So you have to love humanity in order to do that. So if you really are about that, man, find you somebody like in that world. You'll be good.
Yeah. Community, you say how did you say it? Commune with unity?
Common unity.
Common unity. All right. Common unity. And it goes both ways. It's not just upward, it's also downward. Yes. Giving back to those, giving back as people are pouring into you. Your cup should not run over, and you should be pouring into somebody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, y'all, again, this is another episode of The Check-In. We've had an amazing guest with us today, my brother Kenneth Boggs. With Kenneth Boggs Suits, Google him. You'll find it. He out there. Great stuff, man. Again, I just want to give you your flowers. Kudos to you on building your business from the ground up,
Appreciate
my guy.
It.
Like,
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate
it's
it.
named after you for a reason.
Appreciate it.
So kudos on that, man. I want to get you to close out the episode like we do every episode.
Okay.
You're gonna look at this camera and you're gonna say, "Dear Black man," and you're gonna finish that statement, right? Dear Black man, send a message to our community. Something that, I mean, you've given a lot of messages in this episode, but one hard final punch to our community. But before he does that, you guys that have watched this episode, I need you to do 3 things. You gotta like this episode, you have to subscribe to the channel, and you have to share this episode, because Kenneth has given information about the foundation of who we are, the understanding of the outer layer and why the outer layer is important, but also some nuggets about business, which will be layer 3 of the Black man. So share it out. Don't be stingy with the knowledge. Sharing is caring when it comes to knowledge, so don't forget to do that. All right, my guy, you ready?
Let's do it.
Dear Black man.
Dear Black man, stay blacknificent.
Stay blacknificent. Like that, we out, baby. Yes, sir.